A quick video to explain how I use manipulatives to teach students two-step equations. And let me just take a second and clear my screen. I forgot to move some items. There we go. Okay, so the student will be given the equation 3x plus 4 equals 10, so they need 3 Dixie cups. The Dixie cups represent the number of x's. So 1, 2, 3 Dixie cups. Okay, then I need 4 positive tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to draw a line to separate my equation. There we go. And now I need 10 positives. So 1, 2. And just so I don't have to have as many materials, I have the kids doing this in groups. If you use smaller numbers, then you could have them have their own individual sets. It's up to you. Okay. And I use tile separators from the hardware store. So your positives, and then they come as positives, so you have to cut off sides to make negatives, or you could use something else for negatives. Okay, so I tell the students I only want the glasses, so I have to get rid of, I only want the Dixie cups, so I have to get rid of the 4 positives. What gets rid of a positive? A negative. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I put a negative there, I got to put a negative on this side. Put a negative here to cancel this one, I have to put a negative on this side to cancel. Negative, 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 negative. What I do to one side, I have to do the other. Now when I go back, a negative and a positive cancel, so I'm going to cancel these. So all I'm left with is 3 Dixie cups. And on this side, I cancel what cancels, and what I'm left with is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I have the kids pick up and one by one add them to the cup. So I added 1 to this cup, I added 1 to this cup, 1 to this cup, now 1 to this cup, now 1 to this cup, now 1 to this cup. What does each cup contain? Each cup contains 2 positives, so my answer is positive 2. Now, you can still do this process without the Dixie cups and provide the kids a visual. Sometimes I do the treasure chest. So, for instance, let's say I had the equation 4x minus 3 equals 9. Okay, so same thing. I need to illustrate it. So this time, instead of Dixie cups, I have 4 treasure chests. And each contains the same amount of treasure. We have to figure out how much treasure is in each chest. Now I have minus 3, so I need 3 negatives. And then on this side, I have positive 9. So let me draw my line to split my sides. Okay, so I need 9 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. I only want the treasure chest, so I had to get rid of these 3 negatives. What cancels a negative? A positive. What I do to one side, I have to do the other. So I added 1 positive, add a positive here. Add a positive here, add a positive here. Add a positive here, add a positive here. Now when I look back, a negative and a positive cancels, so those items would be removed from the desk, and over here, nothing cancels. I end up with 12 positives, which I have to evenly distribute to each of the treasure chests. So here we go. Put 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and I keep doing it till I'm out of my tiles. Okay. All right, and when I look, each one has 3 positives. The answer is positive 3. So the students go through this practice, and then what I like to do is show them how they can do it on a piece of paper, because they're not going to always have the Dixie cups and the tiles. So they could do something, if I had the equation, 2x plus 5 equals 13, let's say. So what we do on our paper is we draw, for the 2x, I'm going to draw 2 boxes. There we go. And I need to do 5 positives, so I do 5 plus signs. Write 5 plus signs on my paper. Draw a line to separate the sides, and then I need 13 positives. So it's something they can, after they work with the tiles, they can learn to write it on their paper, so they still have an illustration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So now we've drawn it on our paper, piece of loose leaf. Okay, now what gets rid of 5 negatives. 5 positives, 5 negatives. What I do to one side, I do to the other. And they could use different colored pencils if it's easier for them visually, but it's not necessary. Okay, so now I'm going to come back and I'm going to cancel. So that cancels, and they would do the cancellation marks on their paper. So, okay, I'm left with 2 boxes over here. This cancels, this cancels, this cancels, this cancels, this cancels. Now, they can do this one of 2 ways. They can draw arrows showing which box it's going to, or realize there's 2 boxes, so I'm going to circle. I've split it into 2 groups, or they can circle, because there's 2 boxes, they can circle groups of 2. So there's a group of 2, there's a group of 2, there's a group of 2, there's a group of 2. I have 4 groups of positive. Or if they moved each tile and drew arrows, we would see that each box has 4 arrows going to it. Okay? Then eventually, you want to get them to the point that they don't need to draw the visual. So if we had 5x minus 7 equals 8, for example, so we talk about, okay, let's box our variable to pay attention. We want it by itself, so we need to get rid of whatever's outside. So right now, it's a negative 7. What gets rid of negative 7? We're undoing it, so we're doing the opposite. So positive 7. What I put on one side, I have to put on the other. A negative and a positive makes 0. It cancels out. And 8 plus 7 makes 15. Bring down my 5x. What's going on? This is 5 times x. How do I undo times? I use division. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So x equals 3. I hope this helps, and if you have other questions, feel free to email me.